Hello everyone and welcome to Crypto Night, the crypto investor channel. I'm Boris, so let's dive in. I'm with Colton today. Hello Colton.
Hey Boris, I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to the Kryptonite channel, everyone. Let's dive right in. Today we'll be talking about Avalanche. Can you let us know what Avalanche is and give us a little synopsis on the project, Boris?
Yeah, so Avalanche Level 1, it's one of those major blockchains, a big project, and it was really built to create a suite of tools that would be mainly for financial assets. And also, as we're going to see, the guys that created it, they are really big on blockchain. They're specialized in the actual blockchain. So realizing that some of the others, like Ethereum, was a little too slow, they decided to create their blockchain.
Can we now discuss the history and performance of Avalanche, Boris?
Yes, so Ava Labs is the company that created Avalanche. And it was co-founded by 3 people. One of them is a software engineer. Another one worked on the blockchain project of Facebook, which was called Libra. And pretty much the overall team, they really have a strong background in blockchain creation. So the testnet came out in May 2019 and the mainnet was launched in September 2021. One thing also that they aim that they can eventually get to is have the same speed than Visa, which is a lot of transactions per day. And really when they saw Bitcoin and Ethereum only being able to process a few transactions per second, they thought, hey, we could do much better. And that's why they developed Avalanche. First of all, Avalanche runs, smart contracts on its blockchain, and it does support the EVM, which is the Ethereum virtual machines and Ethereum toolkit, which is great for developers because it makes life definitely easier when creating smart contracts. Now, there are 3 chains. That's the one thing that makes sometimes Avalanche slightly more complex than some others. They have 3 chains. The X chain, which is mainly the one that supports exchanges whenever you sell by AVAX, which is the token. Then you have the C chain, which is the contract chain whenever you run any implement any EVM and you implement any smart contract. And then you have the P chain, which is the one that's for validators. And that's where you stake your coin. So whenever you buy, and we'll see that in the staking part, whenever you buy, you get it on the X chain. But after that, if you want to stake it, then you have to transfer from the X chain to the P chain. So it's pretty much they're running 3 blockchains almost, so to speak. They are a variation of proof of stake protocol, but they're pretty much a proof of stake blockchain. Now, currently they can process over 4,500 transactions per second, where Ethereum is really more like 14 transactions per second and Bitcoin is 7 transactions per second. Also, they finalize all their transactions under a second. So that's also important, no delay. So overall, it's a very fast blockchain. And the other great thing is they have really good security on the blockchain. Also, it's important to know that the AVAX holders, they're the one who are governing the whole blockchain. They make decisions, they do votes. And the validators, they secure the whole network and validate all the transactions on the ledger. And to stake, you need to have at least 2 AVAX. Also, the last thing is on the security. They are secured from one of the most common attacks, which is the 51% attack. So they're very secured, almost at the level of Bitcoin. So that's also very important for both users and developers. Now, of course, AVAX, you can find them on all the leading exchange, Binance, Coinbase, etc. Also, they're very easy to use on DEX. If you use Uniswap or SushiSwap or PancakeSwap, and you connect your wallet, most likely a MetaMask. It's very easy to swap for AVAX. At their all-time high, they reached $144, pretty much $145 back in November 2021. And their all-time low was 11 months before, at the very end of 2020, when they were at $2.80. So in just a matter of 1 year, it had 50x'd. Now, today it's sitting around $16.50. So it's definitely retraced a lot from its all-time high. The current market cap is 5.6 billion. The total supply is 421 million. The max supply is 720 millions, and currently the circulating supply is 325 million tokens. Overall, people feel bullish about AVAX. It will probably do very well in the upcoming bull run within the next 1 to 3 years. So they should see some pretty nice returns, potential returns from AVAX.
What about what's new with Avalanche, Boris, and what do they have on their future roadmap?
Well, they have a bunch of different things that are going to be coming up, which is kind of interesting. They're improving their speed. They're improving different things. But one thing that's important to note is lately they've had a few little hiccups. The chain on March 23rd actually went down for a few hours, and there were pretty much no transactions being done. Now, they were mainly lagging, meaning that they were just piling up, but they were not being processed. After a few hours, everything got caught up. So the good thing is, by the end of the day, if we look on a daily basis, it really didn't change anything. It had the same number of transactions that it had, the day before, the day after, or the week before, etc. So everything went back to normal, but apparently it was due to some bugs in the software that just been released. So they had to do a few adjustments. Also, all the validators updated, 90% of the validators updated their latest version of Avalanche Go, which is, one of the consensus on the blockchain. Now, as far as money is concerned, it didn't change much. The price didn't tank or anything like that. I think people will be okay if there's just a small hiccup. But it did happen 3 times in the past 90 days, because after that small hiccup, people looked into the blockchain a little deeper and realized that there had been 2 other instances of that problem. Now, like we say, those projects, they're still developing, so hiccups will happen. But we know with Solana that people at some point got a little tired of too many hiccups. So some people have left Solana for that reason, even though it's still a great project that'll probably still do very well. But that's one thing to monitor, because right now I think people will give Avalanche a pass on the fact that it's never really happened before and everything was going super smooth. But if that was gonna be repeating itself a few more times, we could see numbers going down.
Awesome. Thank you for that information there, Boris. Can we now talk about staking? Is it worth the risk? Is it worth the extra, couple percentage return on a centralized exchange, or should we be doing this on a decentralized exchange?
So of course, as long as you can avoid centralized exchange as much as possible, it's really for the best. Sometimes there are a few projects that if you really want to stake, unfortunately, you might not have any other option than doing centralized. But Avalanche is not the case. Avalanche, you can stake directly onto the blockchain and basically be either a validator or a delegator. If you don't have enough, you delegate to a validator your coins. Much more secured, of course. And you can do that at wallet.avax.network. Now, the one thing I can tell you is it is a little cumbersome, especially when you do it with a ledger key, because you have to connect your ledger key, you have to go to the wallet AVAX network, it has to recognize your ledger key, then you have to take your coins which are on the X chain, transfer them on the P chain, and then delegate to a delegator. So to tell you the truth, it's sometimes a little bit of a pain in the rear. So do it once in a while. Now, the good thing is you can delegate for pretty much as long as 12 months. You can do shorter if you want to, but you can almost pretty much do a whole year. So I would recommend that if you think that we're still sometimes away, from the bull run, me personally right now, if I put any on the network, stake any, I will do it for 12 months. And the rate you can expect right now is around 8.5% return. So that's not bad. I mean, 8.5%, it's a pretty decent return. Last thing is you need to stake at least 25 AVAX. So maybe not everybody has that many AVAX, but if you want, that's what you need to have.
Awesome. That is great information there, Boris. Can we now discuss what everyone wants to know? Where do you see AVAX in the future, and can you give us a little price prediction?
By next year, we should be around $34, $35 per AVAX. So it would more than double, within a year. Then by 2026, we should reach $75, $77 roughly. And then by 2028, we should be coming back to the all-time high and possibly pass it, maybe going as high as 164. By 2030, we should be north of $300. So by then, that means we would have about 20x from here. So it's pretty good return for being a big project and still having quite a bit of potential. So AVAX, good project overall that personally I like, but I recommend people do their own research. That's it for today. Thank you, Colton. Thank you, everyone. We look forward to see you on the next Kryptonite video. I hope this video helps. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. And if you like the video at the end, click on the thumbs up.